Trump versus Biden. Who do you think is going to win? Tell me.
A lot of people think Trump.
Well, okay. There's the deal.
The camera doesn't like Trump.
So the big question is this. How are investors like us who weren't born with a silver spoon successfully investing in property to create a passive income and still have a lifestyle now? That is the question. This podcast will give you the answers. I'm George Markowski and welcome to the Positive Property Show. Our mission is to empower 10,000 people to create financial freedom through property using the Markowski method. Join us.
Hey guys, we're coming to you from Noosa.
Okay, so today our song, let's do it.
Let's do it. Karaoke session. Hope everyone hears.
I know he's got a passion and it's trifle untrue, but I can't help it, I'm a romantic fool. It's a habit of mine to watch the sun go down. On Echo Beach, I watch the sun go down. Spend my time at work. My job is very boring, I'm an office clerk. The only thing that helps me pass the time away is knowing I'll be back at Echo Beach someday.
One, two.
Echo Beach, far away anytime. Really?
Yeah, we don't have to chorus yet.
Starlight lights, a building in the distance, realistic sights. On Echo Beach, where the only sound. On Echo Beach, there's not a soul around.
Apart from when it's circumcision.
I don't be drinking, boring, I'm an office clerk. Drinking helps me pass the time away. It's knowing I'll be back at Echo Beach someday.
Okay. Hi guys, George Markowski, Positive Property, and Christina here, live from Noosa. Now, hello and welcome. Now, today's a big day. Trump and Biden election going on at the moment. Now, if you can see me, hear me, say hello in the comments.
Comment
Please,
in the chat.
Can you
Yep,
please monitor
I'm going to
Facebook?
be keeping an eye on the chat today.
Please comment on the comments because I've recently looked up and Biden and Trump are neck to neck.
Wow. Talk about the race of
Right?
the century.
And look, you know, and what I want to do is talk about how that's going to affect the property market, what's going to happen now after the election. And like, you know, if you're Trump supporters out there, say hello. If you're Biden supporters, say hello. You know, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people are predicting it's going to be a big win for Trump. Actually, someone just commented then, big win for Trump.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm just checking now.
Just
guys.
checking. Let's quick because we're in Noosa at the moment, and because we're in Noosa, we have to look at another page to look at the page.
Okay, so no comments on the Positive Property Club so far.
But it doesn't matter. So guys, if you're not watching us in Positive Property Club, join us in the Positive Property Club because that's where we are.
Club.
Just Google in Facebook Positive Property Club and we're here. So you can see us, hear us, say hello. We're here, welcome, and we've got a very interesting story to talk about. Bit of news. Let's talk a bit of news. Okay, so the RBA has lowered the interest rate again.
Woohoo!
Look, good news.
Happy dance time.
Seriously, money is the cheapest it's ever been in history. You know, in the history of interest started 5,000 years ago.
Wow.
Right, back in Egypt.
Before Jesus was born.
Yes. The Jews in Egypt started interest. I don't know about
The
that.
Jews invented money.
But look, interest started 5,000 years ago, and it's been the cheapest rates we've ever had in 5,000 years. That's pretty amazing.
So if you're going to borrow money, now is the best time in history to do it.
And like, money is free. So this is the example I want to talk to you about because it's very important that I just mention this. So if you're borrowing money at 1% and inflation's at 1.8%, then that means each year you owe less money without paying a cent back.
Aren't you effectively like almost doubling? Or
No, you're not. But yes, you're doing better. Now the thing is, the government's taken a lot of money in Australia and given it to people, and we've got the biggest savings we've ever had in history. So people have paid up their mortgages, offset accounts are full, like I said last week, and people's savings accounts are full. People are full with money. Now we've gone to Noosa. The plane was absolutely packed.
It was full, yeah.
And all the expensive restaurants
The
here.
airport was dead, but
You can see a bit of the background of Noosa right here. We're right on the beachfront. Look, it is packed here, and we just had lunch.
Such a good vibe. It's really happening here.
We had two little snacks, a couple of drinks, and it was like over $200. Like it's crazy.
300.
But people are just spending crazy money here. It's crazy, right?
Best place to holiday in Australia.
It is, and the fact of it is, it's very interesting what's happening. So the RBA made an announcement recently.
Oh, this is a very exciting announcement.
Okay, so we had the first recession we've had in 30 years due to COVID. And a lot of people out there shit themselves and said, oh my God, COVID, I can't invest now and I don't know what to do and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? The RBA have announced that the recession is over.
It's officially over, guys.
It's officially over. The September quarter actually had growth. It's officially over. There's no more recession. Now,
we are recession-free.
Look,
I'm loving it.
Now, I want to just talk a little bit about this because I'm sick to death of all those people out there, and I get it all the time on my page. They're like, oh my God, wait till the big crash. Wait till everything ends.
The doom and gloom.
The doom and gloom. Property's going to crash. Shares are going to crash.
Buy gold.
Buy gold. Buy a gun. Buy gold. Get a house in the middle of nowhere. And look, guys, if you want to do that, fine. But guess what? The economy is not going to crash. And it's actually going to get better.
It's the opposite.
We're about to hit the biggest boom in history. Seriously. Mark Twain says history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And I've looked at history. I've been through quite a few of these crashes before. I'm turning 50 tomorrow. Big 50.
Big 50.
And it's my birthday. So,
Happy
guys,
birthday,
it's my birthday now.
George.
And I'm here in Noosa for my birthday and also a conference. So, basically, if you're a tax department, conference. Yes, no, I'm joking. No, basically.
We're here celebrating.
That's right. So,
but we're also working.
We're working. Look, we have to work as well because we love what we do. But basically, every time there's a bit of a dip, there's a big thing now. And at the moment, finding property, there's no stock in the market. It's very hard to find.
There's demand, but there's no supply,
now,
so there's nothing
Westpac said that there was going to be a decline of 10 or 15% next 12 months.
Wow.
They've just changed their position and said that Brisbane's going to go up 20% now instead.
When did they announce that?
Recently, only a couple of days ago. So what they're saying is now.
Change their tune.
So everyone's saying now, everyone's predicting a property boom. I've been talking about this for a while, but now everyone else on the bandwagon, they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Slow to catch up.
Right,
yeah.
so everyone's predicting a massive property boom. Property is booming, it's going crazy. And the thing is, it's going up already. And I really didn't expect it to happen that quickly, to be honest with you. I've even been caught by surprise. I'm desperately out there trying to buy property right now, right? So, my plan is, by the end of the year, me and a few partners, what we're looking at doing is buying around about 42 properties.
Nice.
Right? We really want to get in there and just grab it now while it's cheap. The problem is finding it. So I've got a guy full-time on the ground looking for our members and looking for me trying to find property. So people in the Positive Property Club, who do you think's going to win? Trump or Biden? Who do you predict is going to win? What's happening here?
I'm going to jump into the inner circle.
No, it's not in the inner circle. It's either my personal page or Positive Property Club.
Okay.
So have a look at my personal page. So who do you think is going to win, Trump or Biden? And how is it going to affect you? What do you think is going to happen? Because obviously, Trump lost last election. And, he talks about how the economy has gone up and the stock market's gone up and things like that. And, I looked this morning at the stats for COVID. And it was like, Russia, 98,000 new cases. Sweden, 20,000. I'm making these numbers up, but they're close. And all these numbers. And Australia, zero cases today. Now,
we're so lucky here, seriously.
Best
country in the world.
Look, we're so fortunate. Seriously are.
Totally.
So this morning we went out and did a paddle with stingrays.
Are we going to buy a Noosa now from Jeremy?
All right.
It's a great place to holiday, not necessarily a great place to buy.
Let me tell you a little about Noosa. They're not releasing land for another 10 years, but it's regional, right? And the thing is, I'm really a big fan until you fill up your property portfolio in capital cities and large regional cities.
CBD.
Yeah, so Noosa's not big enough for me to really invest just yet.
It's very much holiday. That's their own
Yeah,
industry.
so I don't want to go to a one-horse town.
Yeah.
I really want to go to a place where there's lots going for it. I need a lot of stuff happening. And even though they're not releasing property for 10 years here, there's still not the right indications for me. Really, at the end of the day, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the top 100 and what's happening there. Now, Belinda, if you're online, say hello, please, in the comments. Belinda's one of our top property coaches, and she's actually helped run things from Melbourne at the moment. And I'm hoping people in Melbourne will be out of lockdown very soon. Apparently, they've released the restrictions a little bit.
She said tag how.
Okay. Yes. So
if you do a little at sign.
Yeah. So I'm going to just show Belinda a little bit about tagging. Yeah. I'm just going to give you an example. I've tagged 2 people in the life. So there you go. And that's what I'm going to do. So look, we were doing a bit of paddling today. And
well, we actually went kayaking with the stingrays. It was so amazing.
Yes. And we went kayaking with stingrays. And on the kayak with us, not on the actual kayak, next door to us on the kayak, were these 2 lovely ladies, and one of them was a vet. I think maybe both of them were vets anyway, but she was talking about, and we were talking about a job. She comes from England, and she's here on a bit of a work visa, going around being a vet and helping people out.
Yeah.
And she was talking about donkeys. And, because you see horses. Horses have harems. You have one stallion, and this stallion's got a whole heap of female horses around him. Right? That's why they call him a stallion, I suppose, you know what I mean? He's a stud. Now, donkeys are very different. Donkeys actually mate for life.
Yeah.
And once they mate for life. And what happens, and I was fascinated by this, she said that what happens is she'll go, and if there's a male and female donkey that have mated for life, and one of them dies, the other one will stop eating and die afterwards. I was amazed about that.
They can't live without each other.
And because she's a vet, and this is the sad part, she went recently, and there was here in the hinterland in Noosa, she went recently to visit this lady, and the male donkey was 38, he died, and the female was 36. And she had to put down both donkeys. He wasn't died, he had a kidney failure. She had to put him down, but she had to put her down as well, because she was going to stop eating anyway. And that's what she learned from the things. And I just find that fascinating about donkeys, you know what I mean? Trump and Biden, the election. Let's Google this and just see where we're at.
Well, last time we checked, this was literally like 10 minutes ago. They were neck and neck. And at the start of the day, it looked like Biden was winning, and then Trump just suddenly came in and went bang, and then they were like neck and neck. Okay,
so Biden is at 49.8%. Trump's at 48.6%. Neck and neck.
Wow.
225, 213. They need 270 to win. Like, this is such a close call.
I can't believe it.
Now, this happened with Clinton as well. It was very close. It's going to be interesting. A lot of people putting bets down. Who's going to win? How's it going to affect us? Is it going to make a difference if Trump or Biden win? And that's the question.
Yeah.
That's the big question we're going to ask. And I'm going to tell you the answer tonight.
Yeah, because a lot of people really do think it's going to affect, everything.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what's happened is, Australia hasn't had a recession for 30 years, which, high five to all you Australians out there. Well done.
What
That's
about
pretty
2008?
awesome. The GFC happened, but we did not have a technical recession.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have a recession, no.
Right.
We had a downturn, but it wasn't a recession.
Felt like a recession.
It wasn't. According to the RBA, that's what they say.
They're the experts,
I'm going to listen to the RBA. So basically, what's happened, we had a recession due to COVID. That was a recession, we had a downturn. People have lost their jobs, and and I feel sorry for people losing their jobs. It's sad,
Sucks.
I hear about it, a lot, and I hate to hear it. And I'm hoping, people who have lost your jobs, hope you get a new job, and I wish you all the best.
Absolutely, because you've still got your skills.
Exactly, and that's the most important thing. The thing is, though, the economy actually hasn't gone down in September. All the cities in Australia, everything went up slightly, except for Melbourne. Property was.
Sorry, Melbourne.
Yeah, but Melbourne...
You suck.
No. Don't. We love Melbourne. We love Melbourne. Melbourne's a beautiful place. But the fact of it is, Melbourne really didn't do much. But what the experts are saying now, the experts are saying that Brisbane's going to go up 20%. And because I'm in Noosa, I can't show you the graph. But basically, if you look at all the capital cities...
Which experts are saying that?
There's a lot of experts, financial experts saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly which ones exactly. Now, me personally, I'm not as optimistic as they are. Right.
I'd rather be conservative.
But look,
when it comes to investing.
I know that properties average around 7% per year anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. Because the deal is, if you're looking at buying property and you are trying to bet on or rely on a 20% upswing and you don't get it, then you're in trouble. And what I say is don't do that. What I say is really look at the long term, right? You're going to average around 7%, but it's not going to happen straight away. And this is the one thing that I want to talk about, because there's so many people that foolishly think they can make money quickly out of property. And I'm sick to death the get rich quick mentality in property.
Yeah.
Right? So all those people out there that are saying get rich quick, you know, the unicorn people, gold at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the unicorn stuff, the flying horses, forget it, okay? Really, it's a long-term game. If you're not in it for long term, you're going to get in trouble. Seriously. And I want to keep you safe. So property is one of those things you've got to look at it like a minimum 10-year time frame. Now, personally, I'll go longer because it keeps you safe the longer you are. But if you really think that you can buy property and then, you know, have it and then suddenly sell it and make money straight away, you know, you're fooling yourself. It can happen, but you shouldn't be counting on that. And a lot of people get, you know, what they do is they buy property and they go, oh, didn't do anything, or I lost money. Then they sell it, stupid idiots, and then it goes up.
Yeah,
right?
Just before it's about to boom. I see this all the time, people selling just before it's about to boom.
Face palm, right?
And they're just not patient enough.
No,
you have to be very patient.
Seriously, like, this is the deal. Properties are like a tree, right? So if you planted a tree, and I've got an example. I planted an olive tree and a fig tree in our backyard because I love the Mediterranean. I'm a Mediterranean boy. You know, my parents are Macedonian, you know, and I love, you know, the Greek islands, and you've got the olive trees and the figs and stuff like that. And I just love that. And basically, I planted them, and the first year, the fig tree had a few figs. Olive tree had nothing, right? And it was like, wow, the fig tree's doing well, olive tree's not doing well. And I'm going to take a photo when I get back to Adelaide. And now the olive tree just went through the roof and went nuts.
It went amazing.
And the fig tree slowed down.
Pretty big crop as well.
Right? And the fig tree slowed down. The olive tree had a big crop, but unfortunately we had a gardener that came in and chopped the whole thing down. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get off there. I'm going to have to, hopefully next year we're going to have another awesome crop, because I love
But
doing...
it didn't happen overnight. I mean, we had to wait, 4 years before it got any olives?
It didn't happen overnight, but this is the deal though. This is the deal. Like, you could have easily said to yourself, you planted the tree and waited a year, nothing happened, and go, oh, pull it out of the ground.
Yeah, and go, oh, this tree's crap.
Right, but the deal is,
this tree's broken.
It takes time for a tree to create fruit.
When you're planting a little seedling, you have to wait for it to grow. You can't chop it down halfway through or rip it out halfway through and go, oh, well, it didn't give me any fruit right now. So
and I get people messaging me all the time, and they're like, I bought this property, I've had it for 2 years, I lost money, what do I do? Well, don't sell it, you idiot, unless it's really bad, right? Because 2 years is not long enough, because you may not make the money. Now the deal is, if you're going to plant a tree, right? Let's say I plant a tree, and then it's not doing as well as I expected to. Well, what are my options? Option one, pull out the tree and get the press to go, oh, that's shit, trees don't work, right? Which a lot of people do. Option two, stick with it.
Yeah.
Option three, which is better, plant more trees, right? So the deal is with property, putting all your eggs in one basket, buying one property and hoping to get really good result is really ridiculous as well. You've got to spread your eggs and you've got to buy multiple properties.
Absolutely.
See, the more properties you expose to the market, the more growth you're going to get. So someone with 5 properties is going to do better than someone with 1 property because you're averaging it out. See, the Egyptians, we talked about Egyptians with interest. Now we're going to talk about the Egyptians when, actually I think it's the Venetians. So Venetians in Italy. Venice is a lovely place.
Venetian blinds.
No.
That's what I think about when you say Venetian.
No, the Venetians actually, can you keep your eye on the comments?
Yeah, I am.
Because you've got any questions, now's the time to ask any questions.
Absolutely.
But basically what the Venetians did, they invented a thing called insurance.
Okay.
So this is what the Venetians did, very smart. So if you got one boat and you're sending it out to India, China to get spices and bring them back to Europe, right? You got one boat. There's a chance that boat might sink or get attacked by pirates or something, right? There's a chance. I think it was something like a 1 in 5 chance.
Wow.
Right? And
Pretty
the
high.
problem is, so you send one boat out, you could lose everything completely.
Wow, yeah.
So what they did is they get together 5 different Venetians or 10 different Venetians. They'd send out 5 boats or 10 boats. And what they'd do is they'd share the risk. So therefore, if you've got 10 boats out there and you lose one boat, you've lost 10%,
Yeah, it makes
which
sense.
is nothing, right? And if you've got 10 houses and one house goes bad, you've lost 10%. But the others have gone good.
Yeah.
If you've got 5 houses, one goes bad, you've lost 20%. But the other ones have gone good, so you've made money. But if you've got one boat and it goes bad, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So the deal is, getting one property is risky. Getting 2 properties is less risky. The more properties, the less risk you have if you do it in the right way, educate yourself, do it properly. Right? You know what the biggest risk in property is?
I know what it is. I don't know what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. So guys, guess, type in the answer, type in the questions. What's the biggest risk in
Biggest
property?
property.
What's the biggest risk in property? I'll tell you what the biggest risk in property. Not having any property. Because the people that don't have property are not making money out of property.
Yeah.
At all. The people that do have property are making money out of property. And it's all about having, getting the right research.
Well,
getting...
if you're keeping your money in the bank now, it's going backwards. I mean, 1% interest rate. Hello.
Yeah, so if you
Or
got...
in the stock market, same deal. It's going down.
Well, the stock market is a little bit different. It's going up and down. It's a bit more
It's
complicated.
all over the shop. Yeah.
But, and there's some people that know what they're doing in the stock market. And as you know, I've spoken to the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. I had lunch with him, and he reckons it's a bit rigged. I kind of
Obviously.
believe him.
Hello.
And,
But if you're putting it in property, it's just going to keep, especially in Australia, it's going to keep going up.
yes, but
All those
you've got to
different
really,
things.
use your insurance, cover your risks, and be super conservative. And don't have all your eggs in one basket, and make sure you're doing well. And you need to stick it out. You need to have grit. You need to stick it out, because it's the times of grit.
You can't expect miracles.
Because what happens is you've got the property clock, and people are always selling when
At the
property is
wrong
going
time.
down, when it's the wrong time. They're always buying the wrong time. So people are buying, suburbs gone up 5 years in a row, they finally jump in and buy, and they've bought at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Then they've got a property that's gone down a couple of years, and they sell at the wrong time, because then it's going to go up again. So market cycle time, long-term growth is very, very important. And you've got to get this right. And what you've got to do is you've got to think long-term. If you don't think long-term, get out of property and maybe go to Crown Casino and try that instead. It might work a little bit better for you. Crown Casino can be a little bit of fun, but that's what I think.
I don't believe in gambling.
No, I don't believe in gambling either. Trump versus Biden. Who do you think is going to win? Tell me.
A lot of people think Trump.
Well, okay, there's the deal.
The camera doesn't like Trump.
Okay, guys, we had a bit of a malfunction there, and we're going to go back in.
See, just talk. The camera fell down. It was like, nosedive. We're having a different setup today. Obviously, we're on holiday here. And
It's not our normal setup.
Definitely not.
Not our normal setup at all.
Not our normal, reliable setup. It's
No.
a
But
little
look,
less than reliable.
that's okay. That's okay. Doesn't matter though, because we're here. And look, the thing is, this is the deal. We committed to going live every Wednesday
I commit.
at 6:35 Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we're just going to do it anyway, right? We're going to be here every
Well,
Wednesday.
It's very exciting. I mean, Election Day for America happens every 4 years.
Yeah, but I'm saying we're going to be here every Wednesday. Whether rain, snow, hail, sunshine, we're here no matter what.
And George injured his foot last week.
Yes, and I was still there. Oh, it was painful, very painful. Now, I did something really interesting on the weekend.
Ooh, what was that?
Well, Christina's brother invited me to come along and do a Wim Hof method.
Oh, yes.
And I've actually launched, I've got the video on YouTube if you want to have a look, but what happened was we did these breathing techniques, and then what happens is they get a little pool full of ice, and it's like 4 degrees. And you go in there and sit there and try to relax for 3 minutes. And it was so hard.
Painful.
It was so hard, and I did it, And part of the reason I did it was the peer group pressure, to be honest with you. If I was on my own, I would have jumped out, I'm being honest. But with everyone watching, I couldn't get out. And I was like, I was trying to be cool, but you could see my face. I'm like, oh, pain. And then in the end, I finally, because I was resisting, it was painful. And the instructor was just saying, breathe into it, relax, and just let go. And finally, right near the end, I let go. And a smile came on my face. And it wasn't as painful. It was still painful, but it wasn't as painful. So we got out, and then 2 minutes later, because everyone finished, I thought I'd dive in again and give it another shot. So I jumped back in again and lasted only a minute and a half, and I jumped out because there wasn't any peer group pressure. But I'm thinking about buying a freezer. I don't know how to comment on this because I'm looking for a freezer that fits a whole human body in it, and that might sound a bit wrong.
Sounds creepy.
Right? But I'm seriously thinking about buying a freezer that fits a whole human body. I'm going to put it in my backyard and keep it cold. And I'm going to try. I'm going to try to jump in every morning, not every morning, just during the week, and just see if I can jump in and freeze.
Do some
myself.
cold shock therapy.
Yeah, cold shock therapy. It's good for you, It's really good for you and stuff like that. And at the moment we're doing heat shock therapy. We're in Noosa. It's nice and warm. It's beautiful. We've got some amazing things organised. And if people haven't heard yet, we've done the new edition of Freedom Through Property, guys.
It's finally out, guys. It's finally here.
Now, guys, I'm giving away 100 free copies. Now, this is the deal. If you're not making money out of property, you're seriously missing out. Sorry about the FOMO, but it's true. Because making money out of property is where it's at. And if you're not making money out of property, you may not be watching this, but if you are, what I'm doing is I'm giving away 100 free books. We've sold over 100 in the last 2 weeks, which I'm really pleased and grateful, and thank you for the people who support us.
Get it before it sells out, guys.
But I'm giving away 100 free copies to anyone that comments free book. All you got to do is pay shipping. Small fee.
The last one sold out like bang. And
they did.
Then you had to go on a waiting list.
And just have a look. It's all these pages. Oops, something fell out. That's a special thing. But we've got exercises in it. It's a practical book that you actually get to do things and really get some stuff happening.
It gives you a really good action plan.
That's right. Anyone know what's going to happen with Trump and Biden? Who's going to win? Because I'm about to now comment on how it's going to affect the property market.
Awesome.
You may or may not like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. See, if Trump wins, what's going to happen to the Australian property market? Nothing's going to change. That's the fact of it. Nothing's going to change. It's going to stay the same. And now if Biden wins, guess what's going to happen? Nothing's going to change.
Nothing's going to change.
Seriously,
it's not going to affect us one little bit.
It's not going to affect us one little bit because at the end of the day, it's in America, and whatever happens there does affect us a little bit. But our economy and what we're doing at the moment, our region, is pretty amazing. But 70% of Australian money is actually made in Australia from Australians to Australians. We're very, very isolated when it comes to that. We send a lot of stuff to China. We send a lot of stuff to China, right? Resource stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, small business is where it's at. And our people, small business people out there, you guys are carrying the economy. You guys are doing a great job, and we're very grateful and thankful for you. Good job. And we should really support small business because that's where it's at. That's the future. That's who's really supporting everyone. And the fact of it is, property's going up. Everyone's been saying it's happening. It's going to happen. So that's what's happening. It doesn't matter who wins. I know it's exciting watching it, and it's neck to neck, but it's not going to make any difference.
It's crazy. Yeah, I feel like shit could go down in America.
I was reading before that the sale of guns has gone up prior to the election. Now,
America is a scary place.
Seriously, and I don't know if you've read, they've been boarding up buildings. They've got the National Guard in there. We've just got a bit of brightness going on there in the camera. They've got the National Guard out there. It's pretty crazy. So there we go. So let's do a bit of summary.
Okay.
So we did a summary. What we talked about is, Biden, Trump, who's going to win? We don't know. It's neck to neck.
How will it affect
the property market? Probably not going to affect it, but that's a summary. The other thing is we spoke about donkeys and how donkeys mate for life, and how when one dies, the other one has to get put down, which is sad. We spoke about my new book and how we're giving away 100 copies for free. And if you want one, all you do is pay shipping. Just comment below free book, and we'll get it to you. I'd love you to get a copy.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of the book. I've really put a lot of work in. It's a bestseller in 4 different countries, and Christina did a fantastic job of helping me rewrite the book. and make
There's
it
a
legible.
lot of new gold in here, guys. So
No,
even
look,
if you've read the last
If
one,
you read the last
it's
book,
updated.
guys, if you got the last book, you need to get the new book.
Totally,
Trust me.
totally,
Really,
yeah.
you have to. You
This
definitely
is
do.
next level.
That's right. Now, we're going to open up Q&A for 2 minutes exactly, and then we're going off because we've got cocktails at the bar. Right? So let's have a quick look at any comments because
Fantastic.
it's almost cocktail
And
o'clock.
I am checking comments in Positive Property Club, guys.
That's
so
dirty place for checking comments.
if you got something far away, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yes, because
Because we're on holiday, so we're not here to work too hard.
no, exactly. But we
We're
want to
here to
come
have
live.
fun. But I love doing this live. I love, sharing what we're doing with you guys.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really exciting.
Now I'm going to just open the
be able to
curtain
share this.
and just show the beautiful view that we got here because it's pretty
I'm
amazing.
going to get overexposed. But
It
that's
doesn't
okay.
matter. Doesn't matter.
So bright.
Look at that. And actually, you can hear the sea in the background.
There you go. It's adjusting.
Now, the funny thing is, because as you probably know, we live on the beach, and we've gone all this way to live back on the beach. But the difference in this beach is you've got these beautiful mangroves in the background.
Oh,
Right?
mangroves.
You've got that little palm tree,
It's not a
mangrove tree. No, mangrove tree there.
Really?
It's a mangrove tree, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's called a banyan tree, mangrove tree.
Chris said, which may have a greater impact on interest rates, Trump or Biden?
Okay, so look, we're at 1% at the moment, and with interest rates, it's fascinating because what's happening at the moment in a couple of countries in Northern Europe is they're trialling negative interest rates. Right, so the deal is interest rates have been coming down for a long time. Back in the 80s,
That's
we
why
were
you
up.
go variable.
Back in the 80s, we were up, and I've been telling people this, and people are still fixing, and I'm saying don't fix yet. 9 times out of 10, if you don't fix, you actually win.
Yeah.
And for a long time, since the 80s, interest rates have been trending down. The reason being is there's a lot more capital available in the world. One. So because there's more competition for the capital, so therefore, because when there wasn't a lot of capital, the people with the money, they could charge whatever they wanted to.
Right.
But now there's a lot more capital. But also, what's happening is governments and business realise that if you don't have money circulating, then the economy doesn't do anything.
It has
Because
to keep flowing.
money has to flow.
Yeah.
And that's why they've got negative interest rates in some European countries, because they want people to have money and spend it. Now, what's happened, which is funny enough here in Australia, is money hasn't been flowing, and we've all kept it and had it.
We've been hoarding.
We've been hoarding. So most Australians have saved a lot of money, and most Australians have paid off a lot more of their mortgage and put their money in their offset account as they're cashed up.
Yeah.
Australians are cashed up, really highly cashed up compared to the rest of the world. We're way ahead. And what's going to happen when restrictions ease is, I believe, it's going to be a big spending
People
wave.
got to go spend.
They're going to spend, and I can see it already here in
Shopping's
Noosa.
free.
People are spending big, and they're going to spend even bigger. People have got money. They're going to spend money. And what's going to happen is that's going to push the economy
The
up
amount of
and make it happen.
Ferraris and Lamborghinis I've seen here.
Yeah. The deal is, though, this is the deal. We can all look back at 1918, the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic flu, which really just stopped. People weren't, they closed the border between New South Wales and Victoria, actually, back in 1918 as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Yeah, so this happened before. And
Same
they
old
quarantined a lot of places, and what happened was the economy tanked. We had no stimulus. The government didn't help anyone back in those days. At all. Zero. Even during GFC, there wasn't a lot of help. Government's now a lot more procreative and more capitalistic minded, which I think is great, and our government's done a great job. But what happened was, even though there was no stimulus, nothing happened. There was the pandemic, the Great Depression, and then the Roaring Twenties. Now, Roaring Twenties, we're going to have the Roaring Twenties again, guys, so it's going to be fun.
Get
Roaring
your dancing shoes on,
Anyone
your
seen,
flappers,
anyone seen
skirt.
Great Gatsby or anything like that? Leonardo DiCaprio? The Roaring Twenties are back. They're coming back, guys, in a vengeance. And
Amazing.
really, at the end of the day, I really believe the biggest boom in property history is about to hit in 50 years. It's going to be big. This is going to be bigger than the 70s, which is pretty exciting.
Is that called cash flow bloodline? Sorry, Chris, I'm not sure what you mean by that question.
No.
But have we answered Chris's original
Yes.
question?
Yes, we
Which
have.
is going to have a greater impact on interest rates, Trump or Biden?
I don't think it's going to make any difference. Interest rates are on the way down.
Yeah.
And, with Trump, Trump got the stock market up and he was talking about that, but he still didn't put the interest rates up. Didn't make a difference. So I really think interest rates now, they've dropped to 1. It's going to be interesting what happens. But at the end of the day, it's all about comparing interest rates to inflation. That's the key. And as long as interest rates are below inflation, we're way ahead of the game. That's the key. Because when interest rates are above inflation, then borrowing money can be a bit of a problem.
Yes.
But when it's below inflation, you're laughing. And really at the moment, money is dirt cheap. I'm going to borrow as much money as I can. Seriously, and get out there and spread it out and just bring it in, because we're about to hit pay dirt. It's going to be great. So guys,
fantastic.
Thank you for everyone joining us. Have a
Lovely
great night.
to join you tonight. Hope you've enjoyed your evening.
Yep, and we're off to have some cocktails.
We will see
we're doing our
black belt members.
We're going to see our black belt members and then have cocktails.
Members on our monthly shirt. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to register and log in, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening. I'm grateful for all our listeners around the world. If you found this podcast valuable, please share with someone that might find this useful, and please join our tribe of purpose-driven investors, increasing income and impact in our Facebook group, Positive Property. Please note, with a multi-million-dollar property portfolio and a passive income, I've become incredibly successful in investing in property. The fact of it is, however, many people may find investing in property challenging. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of hard work. However, becoming educated to make an informed decision and having the right advisors gives you the tools you need to succeed. The most important part of this formula, however, is to actually take action and apply that knowledge. It is important to understand the information I share is of a general nature only and is not taking into account your unique circumstances. If you're considering investing in any asset class, you need to seek the advice of an independent professional advisor who will be able to look at your specific situation. Be sure your advisor has actually achieved the kind of results you're seeking. Many won't have, so beware. We've taken great care putting these educational resources together. We'd be surprised if you didn't find any errors or omissions. If you do, our legal team says we have to say we're not responsible for those. In fact, as with all things, even your success, we're not responsible. That responsibility always has and always will come down to you and the actions you take. We're passionate about supporting you in that process and helping you increase your ability to create wealth, live the life you desire, and provide all the things you dream of for you and your family.